Welcome back to Ant's Boxing Channel, my people. I want to talk to you guys about Canelo Alvarez versus Jaime Munguia. This video is going to be a prediction and breakdown on how that fight goes, who I got winning, and how. All right, so first I'm going to start off by breaking down their styles. You got Canelo out. Well, before I go into that, first we're going to do the styles. Then I'm going to talk about how I feel they're going to match up. And then thirdly, I'm going to talk about who needs to do what to win. And fourth, I'm going to give my final prediction on it. So let's start off with the styles, right? So for the styles, we got Canelo Alvarez, who's a forward-coming fighter. I don't even know if I consider Canelo Alvarez a Mexican-style fighter because Canelo Alvarez is like a very low punch volume pressure fighter. He comes forward, he puts a lot of pressure on you, but he doesn't throw a lot of punches. If you look at Canelo Alvarez, he really don't throw punches until you're against the ropes or in the corner. When you put pressure on Canelo, Canelo don't really throw punches. He uses head movement and tries to use defense and doesn't really step back much, you know what I mean? But he's a power punching machine. He's a knockout artist. He's sharp. He's explosive at 168, and he got the power to knock your sparks out. You got Jaime Munguia, who is, to me, not a traditional Mexican-style fighter either, but he has more of that Mexican style in him where he does come forward, he does throw punches and bunches, he is aggressive, he is going to bring the fight, a lot of forward-moving momentum, you know what I mean? A lot of punches and bunches, but he got a lot of power, you know? Got a good chin, you know? Isn't the most defensive fighter on the planet, but he's responsible enough. And lately, if you study Jaime Munguia, you see that Jaime Munguia has improved his step-back game. Jaime Munguia is capable of stepping back and releasing punches. So he can fight off that back foot a little bit, you know what I mean? He's been footwork, moving around the ring, circling the ring, trying to reset himself. Jaime Munguia is a solid fighter. Big dude, big boy. I know he fought at 160 for pretty much his whole career. He only got a couple fights at 168. But he's a big boy at 160. He's like a natural 168 pounder, if you ask me. So, it's not really much of a, to me, there's no excuse that, Jaime Munguia is small. It's a fair fight. Now, let's dig into how these styles match up, right? How these styles match up. Canelo needs you to be against the ropes. Canelo needs you to be in the corner. He needs to back you up. He needs you to have nowhere to move so that he can let off his bombs. Because Canelo isn't a tactical fighter. Canelo isn't going to be there technical behind the jab, setting up his punches. Canelo don't really set up any punches at all. Canelo waits till he's great at cutting off the ring. So he's going to push you back, come forward with that high guard, and Canelo is extremely strong. If you look at fighters, when they throw their jab, a lot of jabs don't even get through Canelo's guard. Canelo is very freaking strong and solid, you know what I mean? So he comes forward, he uses that power, his sturdiness to kind of like bulldoze you forward, pressure you into a corner, and then he'll let off a right hook to your shoulders, or that infamous left hook to the body, or that left hook up top. Very seldomly will Canelo throw a jab. He doesn't really use a lot of jabs. So, Canelo really pretty much just pressures you into the corner and then lets off either the left hook to the body, left hook up top, or that, overhand right, kind of like to the top, to your shoulders or to your head, wherever he's trying to get you, it's like an overhand right / right hook. It's a weird punch. It's a Canelo punch, you know what I mean? Or he throws that, right hook to the elbows and to the body. He isn't much of a straight puncher down the middle. That's why he likes to get you against the corner. So that once he gets you in the corner or against the ropes, whichever way you decide to go, if you on the corner, you on the ropes. If you try to go this way, bah! If you try to go that way, bah! You know what I mean? He gonna try to corner you type stuff. Now against Munguia is like, Munguia's a little bit kind of all over the place. You see Munguia kind of coming forward. He puts a lot of pressure, but then he switches it up. He got moments where he comes forward, but then he got moments where he's also moving backwards. He got moments where he's circling the ring. That's why I say he's not like a pure Mexican-style fighter, because if you know the Mexican style is pressure. Pressure, 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 bust pipes. And they coming for you when they all up in your monk. Bop, 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 bop. 100 punches around type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Not literally, but you get what I'm saying. But sometimes literally. But anyways, with Munguia, you got a little bit of that, but you got a little bit of boxing. He uses more of his jab. You know, you got Freddie Roach in the corner. You could tell in his previous fights, he's been relying more on the jab. You know what I mean? Stepping back a little bit. You could see when he fought, who was it? John Ryder. John Ryder, he knocked John Ryder down, stepping back with a jab. Go back and look it up. Go back and watch the fight. He knocked John Ryder down with a step back jab. Bro, that was impressive. But, you know, you got to take all that with a grain of salt. Because like I said, you got to look at Canelo's guard. Canelo has a very sturdy, durable guard that he puts up, his high guard, and it's really hard to get through, you know? A lot of fighters are intimidated by Canelo's power. So due to that, they don't let their hands go. Look at Jermell Charlo, for instance. When Jermell Charlo fought Canelo, he ain't let his punches go that much at all. You know what I mean? Why? Because he's intimidated by the power. You don't want to get knocked out. Now, you see when Canelo fought Bivol, Bivol threw a lot of punches and bunches, a lot of combinations. That's the best thing you could do against Canelo. But is Munguia Bivol? No. But at the same time, does Munguia possess some traits that Bivol did? Yes. And what are those? Size, reach, power, stamina. You know what I mean? He don't got the IQ, though. Bivol got the IQ and the smarts to put it all together. That's why he was able to close the show and really just control the fight. I don't think Munguia can control the fight against Canelo intelligently, but Munguia can control the fight against Canelo in the center of the ring. And the center of the ring is where Munguia will win this fight, because Munguia will throw punches and bunches. He will step back and circle the ring, resetting Canelo. He'll control the pace of the fight there. But Canelo will control the pace of the fight with pressure, moving him backwards. And if Canelo gets him against the ropes and in a corner, Canelo can land them bombs that puts people out. You know what I mean? That's really, to me, those two fighters' best positions in this fight. Munguia in the middle of the ring, Canelo with Munguia on the corner. Now, you look at Canelo, when Canelo likes to throw that hook. Canelo opens very wide to throw that hook, and Canelo will like frame his body like this, where he's like kind of straight to you and open way down here to boom up top, or open way down here to boom to the body. And he's very open for right hand down the pipe. And Munguia has a very good 1-2. I'm not gonna say a very good 1-2. He has a good 1-2, and he has a very good straight right. A lot of power behind it, a lot of pop behind it. And don't be surprised. Don't be surprised, because whether it's that Munguia times Canelo, or whether it's that Munguia, because he punches and bunches, just catches Canelo in between that left hook. Remember this. When Canelo lets off that left hook to the body or up top, Canelo is very, very vulnerable to a right hand, but it needs to be timed. But with Munguia throws punches and bunches. So Munguia might mess around and accidentally catch Canelo with a right hand. You know what I mean? And not even know it, and possibly hurt him, stun him, drop him. You know what I mean? Because Canelo don't see it coming. Why? Because like I told you, Canelo intimidates fighters with his power. Can he intimidate Munguia? We don't know yet. It remains to be seen. Munguia hasn't been in there with a puncher like Canelo. You know what I mean? He just hasn't. So it could be that Munguia gets in there and he gets a little gun shy. It could be. But it could be that Munguia has that Mexican heart and that Mexican spirit, and Canelo's power don't mean nothing to him. And Munguia walks right through it and boom, boom, takes the punches as they come in. And like I said, whether it's timing him purposely or accidentally, he might 1-2, bah, and catch Canelo with a straight right in the middle of the ring or against the ropes. You know what I mean? Because Munguia can punch moving backwards decently. You know what I'm saying? But good enough, too, where he could catch you. I think it's going to be a very interesting fight. You're going to have both fighters are pressure fighters. Canelo's more of a mental pressure fighter. He's just coming for you, walking you down, and then throwing bombs on you on the ropes and on the corners. Bah, bah, bombs that you feel. See, Canelo does that on purpose, because it seems to me like Canelo's mindset is, I don't want to punch too much. I'm going to wait, make sure that when I punch, I land. Even if it's not landing on the body, even if it's not landing on your face, maybe landing on your glove, maybe landing on your elbow, maybe landing on your shoulders, on your arms. Know what I mean? But when it lands, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it when Canelo lands. And that shuts people down, because then they get, oh, crap, damn, that mess hurt. I don't want to catch that on the jaw or to the body, to the rib, you know what I mean? So people get intimidated and they start, you know what I mean? They start shelling up type stuff. It remains to be seen. This fight could be extremely, extremely interesting. But we know that Canelo, when he's put on his back foot, Canelo has no answer. Canelo is terrible off of his back foot. He's terrible. The problem is we don't have nobody that could put Canelo on his back foot like that. That's why when you think of Devin Benavidez, the Mexican monster, that's why you think that David Benavidez could beat him, because what's Canelo's answer when he's on his back foot? We haven't seen much of an answer. So Munguia isn't Benavidez, but Munguia is big like Benavidez. Munguia got power maybe not like Benavidez, maybe like Benavidez, I don't know, but we know that Munguia got power, period, and Munguia is a pressure voluminous puncher, so Munguia is gonna come forward, you know. So it's very, very interesting. Munguia can very, very much disrupt Canelo's rhythm and make Canelo very uncomfortable in that ring. What each fighter has to do to win this fight, to get into the third point, Canelo needs to step forward. Canelo just needs to do what Canelo does. Canelo don't need to do nothing different. Do what he does. Keep coming forward. Walk him down. Haunt him. And boom, boom, boom. When he's in the corner, when he's in the ropes, boom, boom, boom. Bombs away. That's what Canelo needs to do. Now, what Munguia needs to do, Munguia needs to stay away from the ropes. He needs to stay away from the ropes. That's where Munguia can honestly get hurt. That's where Munguia could get stopped, knocked out. Yeah, badly. You know what I mean? And with a high chance of it, because we've seen Munguia hurt against Derevyanchenko. Derevyanchenko don't got the most power in the world. He's not known to be a big power puncher, but we saw him hurt against Derevyanchenko. Canelo's not Derevyanchenko. You know what I'm saying? Bro, it could get ugly. It could get very ugly. Now, whatchamacallit, who I predict will win this fight and how, it's very close. I got this fight 50-50. I've said it for a while. I got old videos. I've been said it. This is a 50-50 fight. But if I have to choose one guy, I'm gonna go with Canelo if I have to choose one guy, because I feel that he will put the pressure. He is gonna get Munguia eventually on them ropes. He could land something. I feel like he will land. I feel like he will hurt Munguia, whether it's to the body, whether it's up top, you know what I mean? But I feel he's going to land something. He's going to hurt Munguia. If I have to choose one, I'm going to have to go with Canelo because of probability. But it's by a very, very, very thin margin. I can see Munguia winning this fight based off pressure, based off making Canelo uncomfortable. If it goes to decision to the cards, I feel Munguia will take this fight. Because if it goes to the cards, it depends on who hurt who more. Because I can see Munguia overall landing more punches, but I could see also Canelo landing fewer punches but hurting Munguia more. But then the X factor in this fight is how much will Munguia hurt Canelo? You got what I'm saying? If Munguia got that Mexican heart, Munguia's going to come forward, and we've seen Munguia hurt, not by power like Canelo's power, but we've seen him hurt versus Derevyanchenko, and we've seen him come back and just keep pushing through, you know what I mean? Even against, oh my goodness, Gabriel Rosado, we've seen him, you know what I mean, hurt and coming forward and the pressure, you know what I'm saying? Like Gabriel Rosado said himself when he was on the zone for the Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, I think it was something he was on, but anyways, he was on the zone on the interview, waiting for something to pop up, and he said Gabriel Rosado was impressed by Munguia's ability to recover. And Gabriel Rosado got pop. He could punch, you know what I mean? So we gotta see, because Gabriel Rosado still isn't Canelo. He don't got that Canelo power, but he got power, you know what I mean? So this fight could go either way, guys. Don't be shocked if Munguia, I know a lot of people, if you look on these YouTube streets, everybody's just, oh, Canelo's gonna knock out Munguia. He's gonna outclass him and beat him. Don't be surprised if Munguia ends up stealing the night. But I do think I slightly feel that Canelo has a better chance of hurting Munguia against them ropes than Munguia has of hurting Canelo in the middle of that ring. But the later this fight goes, the more it's going to favor Munguia. Because we all know that Canelo is a first-half fighter. Canelo does his best work rounds 1 through 7, 8, 6 to 8. Rounds 1 through 6 to 8, Canelo does his best work. After that, he starts tiring out. His speed goes down. You see a lot of fighters, they stop respecting his power as much. Why? Because it's like depleting. You know what I mean? His power ain't the same no more. Because he's loading up so much on them shots early that he just don't got the energy to load up on them shots late. And we've seen Munguia keep that engine running rounds 1 through 12. So, you know, the later this fight goes on, it'll favor Munguia, but how much damage will Canelo do? It's a very tricky fight. I think this is a 50-50 fight, but, you know, y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments below. Am I bugging? Am I right? Y'all already know what it is. That's it, fans. Boxing channel. I'm out.